All right, do a quick recap here while we're going live. So, for the past two sessions, the Tereshkova has been was called to the Tasta system to help the Driclians with a certain where they declared a state of emergency. The Dracilians have a trade agreement with the Federation to help supply Cardassia with, or the Cardassian Union with needed supplies. Um, the cause has been slowly getting known as the Dracilian government, especially the central government of the Dracilian are would say remnants of an old monarchy, which they are currently trying to establish a one world government on their home world. Um, Leaving five total kingdoms. One of the kingdoms has been, from what the crew of the Tereshkova can decipher, has been sort of repressed, mainly their population, as they discovered key bomb fragments that came from one of the fifth colonies. Apparently, the location where these bomb fragments were at were used as old mining equipment of some sort, refashioned into essentially an IDE. These fragments have a unique radiation signature indicating that some nuclear disaster of some kind happened within the fifth colony. The central government proceeded with their own investigation, which the Tereshkova was reluctantly not to share with them. Their findings figured out the cause on their own and proceeded to take the leader of this fifth kingdom, House Ura. Lady Krinia was taken, and along with one of her aides, for being the mastermind, or supposed mastermind, behind the terrorist bombing. Captain Elder, in a bold move, decided to beam this transport, all of its occupants on board, to the brig, and then later tractor beam the aerial vehicle into the shuttle bay. From that moment on, he began to question individuals. Sorry, 1 second. I apologize for the interruption. Proceeded to question the individuals. They've also taken a general who was in charge of the operation, seizing the lady of House Ura. Captain Elder then decided to open a negotiation type line under some scrutinary terms with the central government, primarily with the secretary, considering the prime minister is currently still out of commission from his recent injuries during the bombing. And we pick up right where we left off, as there was another bombing in the central government.
When did we find out that the original bomb had mining equipment
The very first session, towards
used
the
there?
end.
Okay, I didn't know that.
That's why I recapped it and kind of put a lot of that stuff out there, because it's been this week number 3 for this little arc. Captain, I must return to my planet at once.
I'm not able to return you at the moment. This would have caused our shields to go up. I will return momentarily to speak with you, and I'll leave the room.
All right. Are you going to the bridge?
Yeah. Is Vogel on the bridge?
I have no idea where I would be at the moment.
So my question for you, Rogo, since you were on vacation and you're kind of like in the, we're in the middle of this little arc here. You could have went on, you could have went. Your character could have went and did, what we talked about. Um, they could have arrived and met with the ship, and they just boarded it recently, before all this went down. And they were taking care of personal matters.
Yeah, we could say that I rendezvoused with the ship in a shuttlecraft. Not that long. Speed of plot and all that.
And as I come on the bridge, Lieutenant Vogel, can you get me a picture of what's happening on the planet?
Hi, Captain. I will assume that I was brought up to speed, so I'll look for the situation on the planet.
You pull up on the view screen, the image of the central government where the bombing happened, or the second bombing. You can see essentially smoke, you know, miles high, generates in the atmosphere. Appears to be somewhat of a rather large explosion, more on towards the outskirts, or not the outskirts, but on the outer edge of the city limits.
And I'll focus the view screen on that image.
I mean, you focus on it, you just see a tower of smoke.
So we've already scanned the planet for this material that's used in the bombs, right?
Yes, and it does not exist.
We did find some radiation signature. Yeah, not
You
like
found
the
the you found
geological. I mean, just like samples of it in general. So, is it? Do we think that for this explosion to happen, some stuff would have had to come on the planet, or do we not know if there was actual material still on the planet before this explosion?
you're not sure.
Can I scan the surrounding space and systems?
We would be looking for a cloaked ship, so you might have to mention that specifically.
And I will scan for any evidence of cloaking technology, as well as I'm going to scan directly for that compound and any ships entering in and out of the system.
So that would be technically two different scans. So if you're scanning the general system for other ships, that's a separate scan. If you're scanning for the compound, that's a separate scan because that's a little bit more localized.
Would I not be scanning for the compound on ships?
if you're just searching for the compound that you found earlier, then you can do a general scan for that.
Yeah, I'll start with that scan, and then if I don't find it on any of the ships, I'll do like a more focused scan for any cloaked vessels, any spatial anomalies, wormholes, something somebody might have been able to sneak.
Give me reason plus science difficulty 1 for looking for the compound. Assisted by these ships, sensors plus science.
Cool. Then, Captain, if you wanted to get the ship today.
Yeah.
Scans are still working, Captain.
What? You cut off there.
Scans are still working.
Okay.
Captain, I'm not finding any thorium-based explosive material in the system. However, I am reading some thorium in a mining camp within the Ilium Kingdom.
They're on. Yeah, they're a suspect. All right. Can you? Is there any more analysis you can do on that?
I'm not reading much thorium within the mining camp, Captain.
Nothing that you'd expect if there was an actual thorium mine.
No, this seems to be much smaller. Like maybe they might have just used this mine for this purpose. And then I'm just awaiting 2 more questions here. The mining camp itself is a well-known mining camp, and it seems to be mostly used for the mining of kaolinite.
Kalanite. That's how you pronounce it.
Kaolinite. Cool, kaolinite. So it might be a good spot for a closer look.
Yes, why don't you transfer that information to a pad and come with me?
Hi, Captain. And I will follow his. There's the pad.
I'll hand it to Secretary Corvina. I just had an analysis done on the bomb that was just used, and the only place on the planet that has materials that could form this bomb is this camp. We were already starting to suspect one of the other two houses, and House Ilium seems to be guilty. Now, you seem to have your hands busy and need to go back to the planet, so we can investigate them.
I see no provocation as to why House Ilium would ever want to bomb the central government. They are an important figure within the central government, Captain.
That's why we would do an investigation, to figure out why.
Give me President's command.
Is this opposed?
Yeah, it's opposed.
Persuasion?
Yeah.
Take a threat.
Spending that threat.
Reroll on one with bargain and one with bold command.
Okay. Two momentum gained.
Thought she had an advantage here. Doesn't she have talents or something?
She does, however, diplomacy doesn't factor into this role.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's only when she's being diplomatic. So fine, very well. But, Captain, do not, I repeat, do not interrupt or interfere with the affairs of the Ilum Kingdom.
All we seek is the truth. We won't be going much further than this mining camp.
As for the general and his men,
They can go with you.
unfortunately, my shuttle will not fit the amount of individuals you took off of one of our transports.
I can have the transport and the people returned.
Very well. As soon as you find information out, I assume that you will be contacting me.
Yes.
Very well. And the lady here, she is not to leave your vessel.
That's acceptable. The security officer here will show you to your shuttle.
Thank you. And the security officer will escort her and her guards to the shuttle bay.
Well, Lady Karina, the counselor here will show you back to your quarters. We have an investigation to do.
Understood, Captain. Though I would have to unfortunately agree with the Secretary. I highly doubt House Ilum is behind this.
Do you think they were set up?
Hard to say.
Well, I believe we need to get going, Lieutenant.
Yes, Captain.
So, where are you going?
I guess I'll go to the bridge and arrange for someone to transport the people down to the planet and tractor their ship back down somewhere.
Okay. There's no point for doing the roll, so I think Kalen's AFK at the moment, so.
I'm here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, security teams, they escort them to the transporter room and they start beaming them down to the location that the general provides, which is near the capital city.
Okay. Caleb, can you tractor their ship back down?
With some modifications to the tractor beam system, I could. I mean, a tractor beam is meant to pull something into the ship, Captain, not push it out.
I'm sure you can manage.
Aye, sir.
Give me a control plus engineering difficulty 2 to make the modifications to the tractor beam. gain a momentum. Um, can let a supporting character handle this, or just hand wave it. The modifications have been made, and they can slowly take and maneuver the aerial space or non spacecraft back down to the planet surface at appropriate facility where it would be docked at, or well, stationed.
How many people can our transporter fit at one time?
6.
We're gonna need to go investigate this mining camp. Lieutenant Vogel, you can provide the expertise on the finding the material that we're looking for, the Saurian. Caleb, you can help us look for any mining equipment that could be used to build a bomb. We'll take Lieutenant Simon as backup. And that should be fine.
Yes, Captain.
Only suggestions are for an equipment. I doubt we would need it, but maybe the mass spectrometer thing.
That's an engineering deal.
Well, I mean, it just lets you look at materials that are really small, like investigate the properties of materials. I figured you would use it more than Caleb would, but maybe both of you would use it.
Yeah, we could probably grab one.
It's just like I think it's 1 momentum. I don't intend to bringing any extra weapons or anything. And do you need anything, Caleb?
Caleb is AFK. He had to go
Oh.
for a few minutes. So, seeing as you guys are you like in a hurry, or are you guys just taking your time getting the necessary supplies that you need?
I think we'd be going pretty quickly. I don't see the device, and I don't think there's a great clamor for it, so we probably don't even need it.
Okay, so just pretty much standard kits then.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I need a control plus engineering. Difficulty 3, assisted by the ship's sensors plus engineering, to beam down to the mining camp.
Gonna use 1 momentum.
All right.
Rerolling with cautious.
And just need the ship sensors plus engineering. Uh, 3 momentum gained. A 4V beam on just the just outside of the mine operation. It's quite extensive. It goes on for several hundreds of meters. Appears to be parts of it's above ground and some parts look to be underground. You did beam near the location where you detected the sorium explosives, and appears to be coming from what looks like a warehouse building.
Vogel, you have the tricorder. We will follow you.
Hi, Captain. And I'll pull out my tricorder and start heading toward the location of the readings.
All right, you head towards the warehouse building. A man kind of steps forward, military style uniform, obviously a Driclian military police officer. It's like, halt. Who are you?
We come from the USS Tereshkova. We have an agreement with the central government to allow us to investigate this place.
Under whose authority? You said the central government?
Yes, the central government's authority.
And what is the nature of this visit?
It's an investigation.
Under what grounds?
We believe someone is attempting to hide a dangerous substance in your territory. We are here to investigate so that you could be alerted and deal with the offender.
One moment while I check this. Pulls out what appears to be a pad and holds up to his ear, starts talking on it. Nods off, puts the pad away. Very well. But I am to escort you through this facility. You come with me.
Okay.
Walks over to the warehouse, unlocks it, opens the door. After you.
I wait for Vogel to enter.
I'm gonna do a quick scan for life signs before I enter.
Reason plus science, difficulty of 2. Are you
I'll spend
scanning
a
just
momentum.
you're just scanning the building for life
Like
signs?
the immediate room, like a quick scan of like, are there life signs within like 20 meters of this door? Am I gonna walk into a trap?
Then difficulty 0.
Okay. I will not use that then. Ouch.
You do not detect any life signs. Are you wanting to squash that complication with 2 momentum, or are you going to let it stand?
Well, you know me. Let the complication stand.
The complication is when you scan for life forms, you don't detect any, but you realize that the actual warehouse is made out of a material alloy that makes it difficult to scan through. It's a miracle that your sensors even picked up the thorium inside of it.
Cool. So I'll walk in.
Yep.
Taking note of the added difficulty we might encounter.
As the 4 of you enter, the guard follows in behind. Is there, and then shuts the door, locking it. Is there something I can help you find?
We'll be able to detect what we're looking for. Vogel, if you'll lead the way.
Hi, Captain. I'll scan for the location or the highest concentration of this stuff.
Reason science difficulty 2.
All right, now I'll
That's-
use a momentum.
That's to reflect the added complication from earlier.
Yep. I'll use a momentum by a third.
All right. You get it back plus 1 more.
And I will head toward that location.
Oh, no flavor text? Darn.
What?
Captain did say he's following me, so
I may have.
I get.
Did I miss something? I may have not heard what you said.
Nothing. I typed it out to him. So
Oh, okay. Yeah, I am following Vogel.
So you head about 15 meters northwestish as you're kind of walking through the warehouse, lined with several shelves of various mining equipment. Oddly enough, most of them seemed quite used. Some of them are in repair. Some of them are in pristine condition. But you come through, you find essentially a large box marked with explosives, and you detect the thorium inside the box.
Is this the box, Lieutenant?
Believe it is, Captain.
Could you run a scan for genetic material?
Trying to pull some fingerprints off of it, Captain.
That could be useful. Also, any information you could get on the species of the person.
Give me control science or medicine difficulty 2.
Sensor ops.
No. This is
How
more.
about xenobiology? Since I'm trying to find DNA strands.
I'll take that as long as you're using medicine.
Ooh, never mind that.
Or
I'll use a momentum for a third dice. I'll reroll the 1. Cool. 2 successes.
all right. So you got the essentially DNA signature of everyone who has been in contact with that box.
Are there any surprises? Well, Captain, all of the DNA traces I am picking up are Driclians.
Okay. I'll turn to the security guard then. Can you provide financial records for how this was obtained?
I'm sorry, I'm not the manager of the mine. You'll have to go through them. I'm merely just a guard.
Could you inform them we will be needing that?
I will request that the manager be summoned here. And he pulls out the same pad and makes a few inquiries. The manager will be here momentarily. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Not yet.
Guy just stands there, at attention, watching you make every move. And a few moments pass by, and then you hear the door open and sound of footsteps heading towards you. I am the foreman of this mining camp. Can I help you? We'll be receiving.
Yes. I need financial records for how this was obtained.
Of course, it's all perfectly legal.
It always is.
He sort of takes out a little pad, goes through it, punches it, and then sort of shows it to you. Well, here's our recent transaction. It was a couple months ago. Came from the central government.
Vogel, can you check this against the records we have on the ship? See if it matches.
You want to know if it's inaccurate
Yeah,
state,
if it's for forgery, basically.
and I will sync my tricorder with the ship and try to obtain that information. I will also show the captain something as well.
Don't need a roll for it, but
Right, Captain, what I messaged you is what was on my tricorder.
Can you show us where these explosives were used?
of course. But we have to go into the mine. We've been using these explosives for going in deeper into the mine shaft.
Okay.
We'll have to make a detour though, real quick. You'll need some hard hats on and proper protection gear for your own safety, of course.
Sure.
Right this way. As he starts to escort you out of the mine or out of the warehouse.
And then as we're walking, I'm just gonna walk up to the side of the captain and show him that.
Okay.
As you're walking, the foreman starts just kind of talking away, like explaining the mining operation and how everyone is being treated fairly, and it says they were lucky that this mine was spared in the recent bombings of the different factories, and then the capital city as well. If you don't mind me asking, as you kind of walk into a building and he starts handing hard hats out, uh, why the interest in that box of explosives? You don't think it was used in the bombings, do you?
I'm fairly confident it was, but I'm giving y'all the benefit of the doubt by checking the mine to see if y'all actually used any of it in the mine.
Of course. Right this way. And kind of tells one of the other operators, and they kind of overhears like tells like to clear everyone out of shaft 9.
Vogel, could you start scanning for Sorium and make sure we're headed towards any deposits or any signatures of it that you can find?
Yes, Captain. And I'll make that skin.
Oh, you're not at the mine shaft yet, but
When we get there.
I just want to make sure that we actually are heading towards a place that has a signature, and that if Vogel can find a signature, we're not headed in the opposite direction.
Right. So he takes you down. You go down a lift, goes down fairly deep. You see it stops. There's multiple shafts in there. It's written in alien language, and he kind of goes this way, and then go ahead and give me a reason plus science, Vogel. Difficulty of 1.
Ah, damn it.
Right into a complication.
I think that one will burn.
Okay. So you're down to 3 momentum. But yes, you find evidence of essentially a sorium explosive device was being used in this mining shaft, which seems very newly created.
So we do actually find evidence that there's been a thorium explosion here.
Yes.
How long ago?
About 5 days, Captain.
Well, that should be all we need. I guess let's return to the surface.
All right. As you start walk back towards the lift. As you can see here, everything's above board.
I'll just remain silent as we walk.
The foreman, kind of nervous. The awkward silence. As you all get back on the lift and head back to the surface. You appear back on the surface. Thorman like escorts you back to the top of the mine where it's safe. Is there anything else I can do for you?
I will hand him the safety gear. Nope, I think that's it.
Okay. If you don't mind, I have a bunch of miners to have them get back to work. If you excuse me.
Yep. 4 to beam up. I'll type my comm badge and say 4 to beam up.
And you reappear back on the transporter pad on the Tereshkova.
I guess I'll go to the bridge.
You reappear back on the bridge.
Hail the secretary, please.
Hi, sir. A few moments pass by. And an image of the secretary appears on the view screen. Yes, Captain. You have news?
Yes, I have. The only source of explosives on your planet that could have caused the explosion located. We have data that proves that it was used in the last day and that it was not used in the mine in the last 5 days, which means that it could have only been used for your terror bombing. And we have a list of people who have handled the crate. or at least the genetic material of the people who handed the crate, which should be more than enough for you to find the actual culprit.
I see. That's actually really good news.
I can trust if I hand this over that you will leave house. I can't remember the name anymore. The one with the U.
It's fine. Um,
It's like Umbra or something.
Yura. It's House
Yura.
Yura.
If you'll promise to stop hostilities against House Yura, I will return it and the remaining people on board the Tereshkova back to the planet, and you'll be able to conduct your investigation fairly.
Very well. Is there anything else, Captain?
Not at this time.
For the time being, I will not consider House Yura involved. But if our investigation were to take a turn based on the evidence you have provided, then they will be prosecuted to the fullest of this government. Is that acceptable?
Yes, just have the results of the investigation sent to the nearest star base. We'd like to keep an eye on your judicial process to make sure the trade agreement's in our favor. We don't really like to trade with species who make miscarriages of justice typical.
Understood. Have a pleasant day, Captain. And the view screen goes off.
Vogel, could you work on some kind of subspace communication device that we could give the Uri in case they need to contact us?
Yes, Captain. Shouldn't be too hard to give him a subspace communication.
Um, I would consider that to be like some sort of advantage. Um, I would say probably control engineering difficulty 2.
What was it? What in engineering?
Control engineering. And Calum is back, by the way.
Oh, I could always just call him
Oh.
to do this.
Yeah, I didn't know he was back. I would have asked him.
Yeah, I'll relay the order to the engineering department.
Calum, I need control engineering difficulty 2. Assisted by the I mean, let's give a ship an assist here.
Okay. Communications engineering problem.
Well, you're actually creating the device, so
Oh, okay.
I say computers engineering
Yeah, that sounds good.
because it
Okay.
sounds like you're gonna probably replicate it and everything.
Yeah. I don't have a focus. I will give you a threat. Nope. Why did it only roll 2? There we go.
Computers engineering for the ship. All right, you use the ship's industrial replicators, and you make a subspace communication device for House Euro.
How big is it?
It's not very big.
Okay.
They can't carry it. You have to, it's not portable. But
Then I guess since I told Lieutenant Vogel, Vogel, whenever the device is ready, could you bring it and an engineer to the one of the shuttles,
Hi, Captain.
and we'll probably need a pilot to get the shuttle in the air, unless you fancy a go, Lieutenant.
I am a certified pilot.
That should be fine. I will go to the place where the Uri people are on the ship.
okay. Real quick though, the doctor, he's considering he's not here. He had a plan to, because of an atomic explosion that happened 20 years ago, they've been kind of suffering from radiation poisoning. There's large square kilometer area that it's just saturated in radiation, essentially, leading to cancers and other sorts of diseases, and keeps them from being able to grow their own food and their own crops.
Yeah. He had a plan about that. What?
It was to use the ship's deflector array, essentially just neutralize the radiation. Doesn't remove it, but essentially makes it inert.
Okay, then yeah, we can do that. We'll just send a quick message down to the secretary that we're doing it.
Okay, this will be a daring plus engineering difficulty 4 because you gotta get the pattern right. Assisted by the ship's structure plus engineering.
Can you say the roll one more time?
Control plus engineering, assisted by the ship's structure plus engineering. Difficulty 4. And there's currently 6 momentum on the table.
Kalen, if you want to, you can do it. You got the better stats here.
Is Calum dead?
Caleb? Maybe.
If you guys want to use science, you can.
I got decent stats, but I just didn't have as good as him.
I posted in roll 20. It was control plus engineering difficulty 4, assisted by the ship's structure plus engineering.
Okay, so control engineering. I'm guessing I don't have a focus on this either.
Do you have deflector operations?
No, I don't. I've got shield systems.
Uh, no.
Okay.
You still have determination.
Yeah, I still have determination, but yeah, I can't think of any good reason to spend my determination right now on the values. Going ahead and give you one.
It's difficulty 4. Oh, let's hope on the ship.
Yep.
One float. But yes, you fire the deflector beam and start neutralizing the radiation in those sections. And I believe the captain was going to meet.
Yes.
So, Captain, you exit the bridge. You take a short turbolift ride to the diplomatic suites, where currently, Lady ugh, Karina has been staying at.
I'll ping the door.
And that uploaded door chime. Oh well. Enter.
I'll walk in. Lady Karina, we have found a lot of evidence in the Ilum Kingdom, and we've handed that over to the central government. We don't believe they're going to be prosecuting you anymore. And we think it's best if you return to the planet. We have started to eradicate some of the radiation from your kingdom. We'll provide you with a subspace communication device, and if they attempt to invade the kingdom again, just give us a call.
It's most gracious of you, Captain. I have nothing to offer you except my gratitude. Thank you.
If you'll come with me this way, and I'll head towards the shuttles.
All right, you start escorting her towards the shuttle bay.
We'll probably need Caleb to come along to install it.
Install the device?
Yeah.
Okay.
Guess let's go.
Vogel, since you are currently piloting the shuttlecraft, give me control plus con. Difficulty of 1. Assisted by the shuttle engines plus con.
I'll use a moment just for funsies.
Well, you get it back.
Oh, we need a shuttle too. What's the Holly one? The Type 7?
Type 7 is the unarmed one. With the large area, the large cargo area.
Yeah, we'll take that one.
Just engines con. Wow. 2 float.
I don't know. 2 to say we came in under the radar. We were non-detectable.
Okay.
Stealthy in a re-entry.
The shuttlecraft makes a very stealthy approach through the planet's atmosphere and down to the Fifth Kingdom.
Just show us where to land.
And she, kind of shows you a ruined, appears to be some sort of like, old ancient mansion. It's the capital. It's my home. And as you're entering when fly through the atmosphere and you're going through in the part of the kingdom, there's sort of a blue haze in the atmosphere, most likely due to your deflector array, as it's neutralizing the radioactive particles in the atmosphere and on the ground.
I guess actually another 2 momentum to say we brought a anti-grav sled so we can actually get this thing somewhere.
I think the cost is only 1, right?
There's 2 levels. I don't know which one we need. There's one that costs 1 and one that costs 2.
Probably need the bigger one, so. Yeah. 2 momentum spent. Yeah. Vogel, just give me daring con difficulty 1 to land the craft, assisted by the ship's engine or the shuttlecraft's engines plus con. There's a lot of rubble. Assuming you spent the momentum for that.
Yep. You assume correct.
One float. But you safely land the shuttlecraft in what appears to be what was once a courtyard of some sort. Before I forget, yeah, her house aide is with her.
Oh, okay.
I forgot about her. Well, Captain, that was a very smooth ride. And kind of nods to Vogel. Thank you.
She'll be glad to hear that. I'll have to consider giving her a raise.
I'll just smirk with that remark.
She just kind of nods.
If you'll show me to a secure location, me and the ensign here will install the device.
Of course. Follow me. As the away team follow her towards inside her mansion. As you enter in, you find there's really not a whole lot of furniture. In fact, there's hardly not a lot of anything. There's rubble here and there. It appears that it's been looted probably multiple times. She walks you to a room where this is probably the most secure room. Still trying to conduct repairs, though supplies are very limited.
All right, and I'll attempt to install the device.
You could either spend the momentum for it or it's your max as it is, but it'll be control plus engineering difficulty 2, and whoever is assisting with it.
Control engineering difficulty what?
2.
Just don't get a 0.
3 float.
Um, I guess, can we put a listening device in it?
Sure.
Or, yeah, I guess not that. Maybe what I'm looking more for is like a sensor that if it senses weapons fire, it'll like turn on and start recording, I guess. Not just like passive recording, but like, you know, if it senses weapons fire.
Okay. So yeah, you get the subspace communication array with some slight modifications done to it installed. I assume this is very easy to use.
One momentum to have a spare comm badge. That, I guess that third float maybe.
Okay.
Then I'll hand the spare comm badge to her. Yeah, just type on this and say who you want to speak with, although you can only really speak with us.
I see. Thank you very much, Captain. If you like, I could show you around what's left of my home or even my capital if you would like.
I believe we have time.
If you like, you can follow me.
And we have
I'll follow.
As you follow her through the capital city of Ura, you notice that a lot of the buildings are in ruin. There appears to be sort of a makeshift clinic that's got tents up where people are getting treated from various wounds that they have. Lots of rubble. People, though, seem kind of little, in awe at this blue haze. I need everyone to give me an insight plus security, difficulty of 1. She's showing you what she says. This was this building and whatnot, but there's really no officials within the government anymore.
I don't happen to have a focus in this, why? Because I have a focus in small arms.
No. It's difficulty 1.
Okay.
Um. Okay. I was looking over what I could use, but we have 6 momentum. There's no reason to do anything special. Means we just need. Oh, yeah.
So everyone makes it. You all kind of notice this. You notice that the same markings that you kind of saw in the capital city of a handprint that's blue with 3 wavy lines above it. Well, not,
I
3 arching lines above it.
I point the symbol out. What does this symbol mean?
It's popular among the Thal. I do sympathize with it, but they refer to it as the Azure Sky. It's a belief that they've come up with in the recent decade of a brighter future.
People of all ages use this symbol?
Yes.
Well, if we ever have a further cultural expedition, we'll have to investigate. Maybe something like it's cropped up on another planet before could be interesting to study. And I will walk away from the sign.
For the most part, as she's just escorting around, there's still a lot of people who are kind of sick. You do see some people who are kind of skin and bones as She's walking through, kind of showing the town, and then she kind of greets her people. Ask them how they're doing. Captain, I hate to ask any more of you, but I have nothing to offer you. But do you think you could spare some food for my people, at least until we get on our feet again? We've done more than enough, and
Tell you what, you could let me have a private conversation with a upstanding member of the Thal community who seems to be maybe a natural leader, a natural organizer, someone who's popular within their circles, and I will do everything I can. I'm somewhat of an archaeologist at heart. Being able to talk to them about that symbol would be very fascinating. Although I'm afraid they may not speak of it freely in front of someone of such high station, such as yourself.
I can see what I can do. I do assure you, though, you would find my kingdom very unique. We don't treat the Thal. In fact, we treat them more like equals here. We've always had for the past 150 years. Many Thal owned businesses, where there was a blur between the lines of the nobility and the lesser class. But I will see if he's around. He likes to travel from place to place. But I wish we could head back to my residence, where you can wait for him.
I'll wait for him here.
Of course. She steps away. Lost Cam again. Vogel, is there anything you wish to do as you're kind of looking around the city?
Nope.
A few moments pass by and she returns. He'll be here in the hour. Quite a distance away. He's on some sort of hunting expedition.
We can wait for him here.
As you wish. Nightfall begins to break. You see many people light essentially campfires to help stay warm in a very dry and arid climate. You hear the sound of a jeep or some sort of motor vehicle pull forward, and a man stepping out. Very tall, rugged, uh, black hair, moderately groomed, has a beard. Uh, Clothing has seen better days, kind of ragged. As he walks up to you, I am Valis. I was told by Lady Karina that you wish to speak with me.
Yeah, I saw a symbol in the city. Someone said it was called the Azure Sky. I wanted you to tell me about it.
It's just a symbol of hope for my people. Why do you ask?
Are there people trying to speed up the Azure Sky?
I don't know about that.
If you thought there were people, what do you think they would need to do it? Hypothetically.
Give me a presence command. Difficulty 2.
Persuasion?
Sure.
Then take a threat.
Uh,
I'll re-roll the 0 with bold command. Okay.
oh, you have one float. Actually, it would be capped. This would have been a new scene, so. The fall of the central government.
That would be. Why would that speed up the process? Do you
They're-
not like them more than the kingdoms?
To be honest, what do you know of our past?
I know a lot of similar pasts. Yours, I don't.
The rulers of the central government are corrupt. Their only interest is in to better their own wealth and need, not the needs of us, the planet. Everywhere, the Thal are being oppressed, misused, mistreated, often used as slave labor as well as organ donors involuntarily.
I had my suspicions of this. If you could wish for anything in order to help in your goal, what would you ask for?
For those that have how should I put it? For those have mistreated us for so long, be put to justice.
Do you need anything to do that, or do you want someone else to carry out such justice?
Are you offering to aid, Captain?
I'm asking what you want. Let's start there.
What I want is irrelevant.
Not you as a person. You as the proxy to a movement. What does the movement want?
Who says I'm a proxy to the movement, Captain? It's just an
Hopefully,
idea.
hopefully you're a proxy tonight, or I've come to meet the wrong person.
Would your Federation openly support the Azure Sky? Are they willing to do that? Are they willing to end this trade agreement that's being causing so much grief for my people?
The Federation supports legitimate governments. Sometimes they can be arbitrary about what a legitimate government is. If you're the legitimate government, they will support you.
But I am not a leader, Captain. I'm just one individual, one man with a dream.
What would it take to realize the dream to make you the legitimate government?
Weapons, advanced weapons that they can't fight, that they'll have no choice but to fight us on equal ground. Materials to rebuild strongholds and reignite a war that we fought 20 years ago. Did the lady tell you why the 100-Year War was fought, Captain?
No. Most of the people we talk to lie to us.
The 100-Year War was fought over the fact that the Thal were given freedom 150 years ago. That the kingdom of Uri was prospering and free for everyone. Even though the house maintained its nobility, it did not run the government. It was run by the people. Nobility and common folk alike. It was a beacon of prosperity, a prosperity that the other four kingdoms did not like. So they engaged in open conflict. We held our own for several decades until they started dropping their bombs, polluting our waters and killing our women and children. Both nobles and Thal alike stood side by side in this kingdom to fight for our very lives and our very survival. To the point that Lady Kronos' father gave his life for peace and a chance for our dream to one day be utilized again.
I tell you what, Can I have another momentum for a spare comm badge?
Sure.
I'll hand him the comm badge. You take this and you ponder for a while about all the things that you want, and maybe they'll come to you. It's a token of good luck from us.
Very well.
Just make sure you're somewhere where if you received everything that you could ever want, it wouldn't be taken from you.
Are you trying to be deceitful in any way?
Me?
Yeah.
100%.
Okay. I
No,
need
no, towards him or towards
towards
Vogel or
towards
who?
him.
No, I'm
Oh.
100% telling him the like truth. I'm being vague about what I'm saying, but what I'm saying is like it's true, but it's like really I've really abstracted it out. I've been vague, but I'm not lying to him.
Okay. Very well. If you excuse me, Captain, I have some food to offload to these people. He kind of walks off, heads back to his jeep. In a couple men, he motions to start unloading certain supplies. And that of some unknown animal carcass.
Caleb, are you here?
Yeah.
And then I'll turn to Caleb and Vogel. How do y'all feel about helping him with his needs?
From what it sounds like to me, sir, it sounds like we're trying to civil war again.
That's exactly what it sounds like.
I thought the Federation didn't take sides.
They don't. This would be 100% illegal.
I know what I should do. Thing of it is, you've looked out for me in the... So if this comes back on us, stand there.
Vogel?
One second. Are you suggesting, Captain, that we break the Prime Directive?
Into 100 small pieces.
We wouldn't be the first, that's for sure.
You're free to say what you want to. If I can't convince even you, then there's no there's no reason even try. And you'll be free to tell whoever you want what I asked you to do. You shouldn't expect any retaliation. Do you tell me that?
Probably. I mean, honestly, I'm having a hard time following what's going on because this is episode 3. So, like, I don't really know what's going on, and I don't know the relevance of that statement.
The statement.
What practice? Of what practice given me. Like, I don't know the relevance.
The implication is that he's responsible for the bombing.
But yeah, I would probably tell you that too. I mean, because assuming my character would know the significance, I don't think she would hide that.
I'll look over the scan, and then I'll point Caleb to look at the tricorder, so Caleb can see it. What does that look like to you, Caleb?
I'm sorry, what'd you hand me?
I handed you a scan that showed that the guy that we were just talking to was covered in radiation, and that most likely means that he was at the bomb site. He even had, so the radiation is close to the fragments that you got from the bomb site. So we got a pretty good indication that this guy was the bomber, or he was nearby, or he helped build it, or something like.
For the amount of radioactive material found on his clothing, the only way to get levels that high is to be at the site and recently.
Yeah. Possible. Or at least have been around it a lot.
Something like that wouldn't be uncommon on Wage War, would it?
Being around the bombs when they went off? No, it would not be uncommon.
There's like a high whistle coming from you, Vogel.
That was weird.
Does that change the math in your head, Caleb? Or the situation?
Put this in perspective. The original bomber, though, was killed. Like he was vaporized.
Yeah. He probably
Yeah,
was
we
at
don't
the bomb.
expect this is the guy, but like, yeah, you were gonna say Caleb.
He probably either was the creator of the bomb or was there when they first detonated. One of the two.
I guess if nobody says anything else, I'll head back to the shuttle.
All right, you head back towards the shuttle. I'm assuming the other two are following you.
You cut out there.
You head back to the shuttlecraft. I'm assuming that both Vogel and Caleb are following.
Yes.
As you head towards the shuttlecraft, Lady Kurna comes out. I hope your conversation was fruitful, Captain. I just wanted to say farewell. And
Farewell.
well, take care, Captain. Hopefully, we meet again under better circumstances. She heads back into her what's left of her mansion. So yeah, get in the shuttle. The shuttle takes off and heads back towards the ship. After some time passes, you're back on the bridge of the Tereshkova.
Uh, I'll talk to Caleb in the turbo lift on the way up.
Oh, okay.
Caleb, I'll need you to replicate the food that they asked for. Oh, he said he'd be right back. He's not here. I guess I can do it. I'll head to... I guess the industrial replicators are in main engineering. I'll head there.
You can probably just order someone to do it.
Yeah, I imagine that's going to cause me a lot more problems than actually doing it myself at this point. Something tells me asking someone would do it would not end well.
To replicate a bunch of food to send down to the planet?
I intended on replicating and sending a lot more than food.
Oh, okay.
We could categorize it as particularly spicy food.
No, I got the meeting.
Yeah, I just haven't been court-martialed enough.
Give me control plus actually no, let's make it daring plus engineering difficulty 2.
I'm definitely trying to be obtuse about this so that no one really picks up on what's going on. So if that needs to change the difficulty or if I need to spend something for that, I will.
Nope, I'm gonna have the complication at 1. Or sorry, the complication will be at 2, and then I'm gonna spend some threat to make a complication range of 3.
One determination on force ensures peace.
Go into a little bit of explanation for me on that.
If I provide them weapons and they're able to put into place a more stable, more just, more egalitarian system than the one that exists, then it would be better than the one it was before and be better at guaranteeing long-term peace. So a little bit of force now might create much, much greater peace later.
Okay. So yeah, difficulty 2, complication range is still 3. And the ship will assist with structure engineering to replicate everything. Ooh, no complication. Well, you have 3 flipped.
Uh, uh, I I don't really know how to use it to give them more spicy food. Lots of spicy food. I don't know.
So the weapons are Federation standard weapons that you're giving him. So
Oh, I guess one to browse some files and pick some Klingon standard spicy food.
So 2 momentum to make it non-Federation standard of the various different alien weaponry that the ship's computers can replicate.
Yeah.
There will be also the other issue that there's going to be a log that this spicy food has been created.
Oh, I will initiate protocol erase the trace of curry.
That would be, you have to spend 2 momentum for that.
Sure.
You replicate several. How much are you replicating?
never
Like
mind.
one kind of big cargo thing that you can beam down, or are you gonna do multiples?
No. So the food and the cargo will be stacked together, I imagine, but the cargo and the food are going to different spicy food and non-spicy food are going to different places. So I don't know how that fits into your question.
Okay. I want to make this a transporter roll. So for the food, it's going to be a difficulty 3 control engineering. This is by the ship's sensors engineering. For the spicy food, though, it's going to be a difficulty 4.
For the regular, it's what?
Difficulty 3 control engineering for the food containers. This is by the ship's sensors plus engineering. And for the spicy food, it's difficulty 4, same task.
3 momentum for regular.
Sensors engineering for the ship. Get one of the momentum back. You beam the regular food down to the desired location. It's difficulty 4 for the other task. And let's make a complication range of 2.
Two threat, 4 momentum. Other way around. 4 threat, 2 momentum.
Ooh. Well, the task was successful. However, there is a complication.
I can't do anything about it.
The complication will be that I'm assuming you're doing these transports in secret.
Yeah.
Hence why the difficulty increased for this particular one.
I'll say that I'm doing it personally. I don't know that I went out of my way to remove Leva or anything like that from the room. I was trying not to arise suspicion, so.
You be doing this more from the cargo hold because they have their own independent
okay.
transporter room. I'll definitely say this. Someone is going to notice that with the complication, will notice that there's a transport going to a slightly different location than wherever the other transport was at.
Do I know who?
You're about to find out.
Okay.
Captain, we're being held from the secretary.
All right, I will be on the bridge shortly. As I'm heading to the bridge, I'll calm down to the dude that we sent the spicy food to.
Okay.
I'll just say, have all your wishes been answered?
This will do. This will help us out. Thank you.
You have about 3 minutes before it's going to be a problem. I would scatter or make your play, one of the two.
We will indeed, Captain. Thank you. Good luck.
Do me a favor. Destroy the token I gave you.
I will indeed. If you don't mind, Captain, that current trade agreement that you have with the Secretary,
I think it's over.
may we meet under better circumstances.
Someone will definitely meet you. It most likely won't be me.
Well then,
And I'll close the communication.
all right. Assuming you're heading to the bridge.
Yeah. On screen?
Captain, may you tell me as to why you were conducting transport operations in the Euro Kingdom? I understand the one, but the other one was quite a distance away from their central city.
Computer calculated that was the most efficient dispersion pattern for efficient food delivery. They're very advanced algorithms. To the human eye, they may seem random, but I promise you they are very efficient.
Sped tooth right here. Negative. You're gonna like negative and unable to comply. Additional information is required.
Who says that?
The computer.
I didn't ask the computer, though. Does the computer just hear what I'm saying and say something?
I thought you asked the computer to verify the.
Oh, no, I just said that's what it was. I didn't ask the computer to verify. I'm just lying to her.
Then give me a presence command. Posed.
Persuasion.
No, because you're lying to her.
Improvisation, since of the lie that I came up with. In like 2 seconds.
At increased complication.
Sure. Take a threat.
Spending that threat.
Re-rolling because of bold command.
Okay, it is a tie. can succeed at cost. Or I'm going to spend 2 threat and she'll succeed.
She can succeed.
Captain, I highly doubt that you be beaming a cargo container full of food to a cave. What did you transport over there, Captain?
You should go see for yourself.
What are you getting at, Captain? What have you done?
Is there anything further you require of us before we retire from your system? Any other aid you need?
I think you've done enough here, Captain.
Not nearly. Tereshkova out.
And the view screen goes blank.
And I guess we'll leave the system.
Okay. I, sir, leaving the system. Is there coordinates you wish to... Captain, what heading shall I input into the computer?
I don't know, find something interesting that needs to be explored.
Aye, Captain. And the Tereshkova heads out. And with that, I think we'll just call it end here for tonight, since we're lacking on players today.
And I'm only half a player because I have no idea what's going on.